Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me I have the dynamic duo of Hog and Kage.
Hey there, how's it going?
Yo.
Smoke if you got them. Sundial Growers Inc. is the stock. First one we're going to talk about, SNDL. Last tick was 03510. Going to the year-to-date chart. Let's go to that real quick. Obviously, we got another jump after the dump. I did see an article off of Zero Hedge. I believe they did some kind of like survey saying 144 million Americans want this thing legalized. They want everything legalized as far as the pot in all the states. So that's gaining traction there. I believe we talked about that on the other shows as far as that. Don't be surprised if the Dems try to throw some hooks and nooks and cranks into the election coming up to try to bribe the vote to come out, the pot vote. So, but you never know.
That's what they do, dude.
Yep, that's what they do. Going through their cities too, it's not good. It's not tight. Very depressing. Going into what would you say they do here if you've been under a rock and haven't been paying attention to this stock? They're a licensed producer of crafts, small batch cannabis using state-of-the-art indoor facilities, and brand portfolio includes Top Leaf, Sundial Cannabis, Palmetto, Grasslands. Sundial operates Spirit Leaf Retail Bouncer. The company was founded by Stanley Swetiak on August 19, 2006. It is headquartered in Calgary, Canada. Also, something interesting that came out of Calgary, Canada, guys, is supposedly they're banning plastics. So we'll see how
banning
that goes.
Plastics?
Yeah,
this is news to me.
Yeah, that's
why are they banning plastics?
I don't know. It came across the wire on weather.com. So see if that actually goes down or whatever, you know. Going into the news, because that's what we covered. We got this that popped. There's a couple articles here. First, this is on Cision. It says, well, first let's get some of the takes of the real traders there, Kage, on stock twits, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you got on the twits as far as, and mention some of keep on mentioning their names. They really like their names being mentioned. Credit due.
Okay, how about this one from New Fan? He says SNDL bullish. The bear is working overtime tonight. Will you be the one to make the money? And it's got a gif of a polar bear taking a dump.
Yeah. So is he calling for everybody just to short out because of the news and everything? Because it's good news.
Not saying that the bears are doing that, but maybe.
Okay. What else do you got for comments?
How about this one from Emily's? He says SNDL, that's E for his A, saying sitting in nice penthouse winning millions working for the shorts, wants nuts to not make money so we can go out on the workforce. Kramer said that while he's normally in favor of higher stock prices, the Fed needs the market to decline for inflation to also come down. The reason, he said, is that a downturned market will curb spending and keep people in the labor market.
If anybody out there wants to listen to Kramer, go right ahead, man. But this guy's been so wrong on everything and is a total
he's a hack.
Shill.
Yeah, he's a hack.
According to him, it's the best economy since 2022, and you're going to make wheelbarrows full of money. Just listen to him. If you guys listen to him, you guys got to get off these alphabets, man. These alphabet channels are freaking. They'll destroy everything. They're the reason why we're in some of this mess is because it's complete trash on there and propaganda. So Kramer, that's a funny one, man. It looks like this is coming from Cision there. Sundial Growers enters into a bid agreement for Zenabis Global Inc.'s assets. They entered into the agreement in connection with the credit investment to add lower cost indoor cultivation. That's good, because if that lowers the cost, that's going to be greater for the company there, and they can take some of that money to maybe pay some employees better, more manufacturing, things like that, build a brand. The context, initial order pursuant to Companies Predators Arrangement Act, Canada CAA pertaining to the cannabis group, rendered June 17, 2022, entered into the purchase agreement, a form of a stalking horse bid, the bid agreement pursuant in which the shares of Zenabis Global Incorporated and its assets direct, indirectly, wholly subsidies collectively to the Zenabis group. They were acquired by Sundial. The bid agreement is expected for approval by Quebec, and the potential bids pursuant to the bidding procedure will follow. All amounts are dominated by Canadian dollars unless otherwise noted there. So you have that news. What else do you have on the twits there?
How about this take from Eli Miz? He says, no, wait, that I already did that one. Sorry. How about this one from Loosed Quotes? He's a Plus member on Stock Twits, and he says, bullish. Forming a clean pennant, OCGN awarded a patent to cure blindness. RMAT designation, neocart revenue, Lance study, FDA approval, and more revenue from international partnerships boon $10 stock for SNDL. And he's got his little chart in the comments for his take.
Are you guys, this is just speculation here, but are you guys seeing a gravitation towards, with a Zero Hedge article that was out today, you go check that out on zerohedge.com. Are you seeing a gravitation towards, you're seeing towards the pot stocks now because of some of your news and information going out there? This Sundial,
I think these people have got wet socks treading on eggshells, really, for this whole thing.
Yeah. Hog, do you got anything to add on this at all, or? I might have caught him in the middle of the skate there. It looks like he might be looking for some of the peeps out there. It looks like the assets covered in the bid agreement are 380,000 square foot indoor growing facility located in Atherville, New Brunswick. The annual production capacity is approximately 46 kilos of dried 46,000 kilos of dried cannabis and 15,000 kilos of the extraction capacity. The facility received the EU GMP certification, providing a license to facility to export internationally to Israel, Malta, the United Kingdom, and the EU. So that's some heavy hitters countries there, Kage, that are joining the group there with what they have on the books there. Don't you think that's pretty significant?
I think so. I'm also just looking at some comments, like this one guy from White guy. It's spelled WHYT guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. He's got an interesting take that I think I'd like to do.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, shoot.
Okay, he says SNDL bullish. He says Sundial, Sunstream loaned money to Zenbis, roughly 58 million Canada dollars at 14%. Hexo buys Zenbis, Tilray buys Hexo. Tilray through Zenbis says, F you Sundial, we won't pay. We aren't paying 14%. In fact, we aren't paying a penny. We will file bankruptcy and you won't get S. Thanks for the free money, sucker. Zenabis goes the bankruptcy route as an independent entity. They don't have to be bailed out by the parent corporation. They basically said, Your Honor, we are broke. Please wipe out all our debts. At this point, you would expect Sundial to sue and try to claim whatever assets they can in order to get their money back. But Sundial took a different approach. Sundial makes a stalking horse offer. They basically said, Your Honor, we will pay this much for this asset of Zenabis. That way, Zenabis can pay their bills and you don't have to wipe them out. If someone else pays more, that's fine too. If Zenabis bills get paid, then Sundial's loan at 14% gets paid in full.
That's not a bad take, because you're actually getting a take from a real trader And I have to give him credit because if you read that part of this article, you wouldn't have got that side. This article is kind of which makes sense because it's on the alphabets and they got their pom-poms going out and everything. But his take is a decent take in relation to it's more realistic as far as compared to some of this stuff here. But going through this, it looks like it said that the agreement with Zen Farm Limited, based in Malta, is allowing commercial bulk imports to Malta from the facility, Atherville, and subsequent exports finished medicinal cannabis products countries of the EU and United Kingdom. The bid agreement also provides acquisition and decommission of 255,000 square feet of the indoor facility in Nova Scotia that was used for packaging and processing, and adding cannabis products to the manufacturing. Based on Hexo, publicly filed information contribution, Zenabis Group to consolidated revenue was 11.1 million second fiscal quarter, and international net revenues were 36% to 8.2 million second quarter 2022, to 300% relative to Zenabis Group's international consistency of the 54% Hexo international net revenues. There's more than 100 employees currently at the Atherville facility, and the Sundial assessment total capital invested facilities to date is 108 million. So you got a lot of Delaruskis in here. It says Atherhole. Sorry if I'm butchering that. My apologies there, twits. But the facility utilizes a state-of-the-art, including a full computing monitoring system, the latest HPS LED technology, seed-to-sale tracking systems, and growing several different strains of extensive library strains currently, further to enhance Sundial's existing expanded portfolio. So with everything they have here, it looks like they're adding a little bit of extra assets, and as far as expanding the operation to different products and things like that. This could send this back to where it was. Not saying it's going to. I think it's at the right dollar value, just because of it had technically Sundial had its recorrect. If this operation gets going more and things look where it's going to be interesting coming in the next quarters, what do you gentlemen have to say for any of that?
I think for this stock, where it's at right now, it's definitely on the cheaper end, but I don't know if sentiment is going to raise it up too far.
This one is one of the top for the past 2 years. This has been one of the top ones that has played back and forth on that there. What, Hog, do you have anything to add on any of this there? Maybe we lost Hog. I don't know.
I think we did. Yeah.
Kagi, what do you got?
For this stock, if
as far as on
if
the
you
twist,
if you're still in it and whatnot, and you've been in it since late February, April, and you're still holding on to it, then you lost a good amount of value. But if you were in if you just got in right now, then you kind of bought it at the bottom dollar, and you've actually made some money. So
yeah,
either way, it might be a decent hold long term.
I wouldn't bounce on it. There's too much stuff.
But I wouldn't necessarily count on the bounce going too far.
Yeah, I wouldn't go and sell. That's the thing. If some of these people are saying buy, sell, turn off them. Do your own research and do not freaking, unless you're in the short game, just turn off the noise sometimes. Some of these guys
listen to this signal, not the noise.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like the base shelf prospectus made final for Nova, and its certain security shareholders qualify in a way a prospectus of Canada securities. Excuse me. This is for Nova Cannabis. So Nova Cannabis, it looks like they increased the credit facility with Sundial Growers to 15 million. Let's go through some of this here. Specific items. This was 5 days ago news. offering securities under the base shelf prospectus and establish. I just freaking got out of it, but you guys got the freaking gist of this one. What else do you got on the twits there, Kage?
There were a couple of new entries in here. They're talking about like the stalking horse, but for some of the other things like Hexio. Like this take from MMTLP Triarch, I think. And he says SNDL Hexio paid California 235 million January 2021 for Zenobus. It made California a 11.1 million last quarter.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to see how this plays out. If these deals, if they actually go through, and because like I was telling you guys yesterday, you're going to see gravitation towards some of these pot stocks, alcohol, vapes, all that kind of stuff, because as shitteth goes down the faneth, because we have one of the most wonderful economy ever, and Joe's giving out a lot of money to everybody, and everybody's happy, not really, but you know, you're gonna see people turn towards these types of stocks, and you're gonna see revenues probably pile in just because it's not looking good out there. So look for some of these pot stocks. SNDL's got a good operation, and they've been making a lot of acquisitions. So we'll see what happens with that, and we'll see you in 2 and 2. Peace. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is Marijuana Company Incorporated of America. Last tick was 0.007. I did not see this showing up on a promotion list, but I did see it in the top Yahoo stocks. Now, it is in sub-penny land. It's below a bean. It's below $1, so you know the risk associated with it. If you're new to the show, please don't go out and buy it. Don't get taken. Watch your wallet. Marijuana Company of America engages in the investment in a portfolio of legal cannabis and industrial hemp business. It operates through HempSmart segment, and the company was founded on October 4th, 1985, and is headquartered in Los Angeles, California. Going on to stock with Kage, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you have on the twits for me on that one?
I see for the most part, there's a lot of people who aren't happy with the way where it's at right now, as far as the level that it used to be. But there's some bulls for this one. Here's a take from Funny Guy 148. He says, MCOA. I believe end of July with Senate bill, we'll see some action. In the meantime, come to PSHG. And guys, I think
I'm going to say this.
Performance Shipping Inc., I think.
Kage, this is going to be a broken record, and you know where I'm going on this one already. You can already see I'm coming in hot. Do not
a lot of bashers.
Don't depend. No, just these guys depend on Congress and the Senate. Guys, it's a bunch of clowns, man, on both sides. They're not going to pass this, dude. I'm just telling you that they're not going to pass anything with anything.
How many allies do you think the other side would have if suddenly go all in and say, as of today, marijuana is legal? How many people would flock to their cause instead?
Yeah, the faith in these guys, it's the uniparty. And so they do what's best for them. They don't care what you think. So I hate to bust anybody's bubble, but don't have any dependence on any of these people. These people are grifters. That's what they are. So the Alphabet News always carries the cooler for all of them. They play sides and things like that just because they want a good interview, and they're trying to, do their, prolong their career and everything like that. But yeah, it's just stop having faith in these things. That's why we're in this mess, is because everybody has too much faith in these things. You need term limits and you need to get career politicians out of there. That's what has to happen. Marijuana Company of America, material modification. This comes from Market Screener. Has the rights of security holders amendments to the articles of Inc. or bylaws and changes to fiscal year financial statements exhibits to the 8K form. The registrant of board of directors unanimously resolved and approved amendments for registration of articles and corporation, approving 1.65 reverse split for registrant's common stock. So right there mentioning the reverse split for some of you heavy shareholders, that's concerning to me right there. As far as if that's in the cards there. It says on June 15, 2022, the amendment in articles incorporation was filed at Utah Secretary of State, formally filing the pending the amendments and articles of incorporation bylaws. So if that's in the cards of the reverse there, that it's a complete freaking it's a complete pass for me, dude. What do you got?
Let's see. There's not a lot of new comments for this stock. How about this take from You Be Good? He says, MCOA probably missed the net a few times. That may explain your investment here. Landing on your head must mess a person's thinking.
Okay, what else do you got?
And he's also talking about the reverse split and another comment that he had as well. How about this take from...
What's he saying? What's he saying about the reverse split? What's his take?
He says, MCOA, well, here comes the reverse split. Surprise, surprise. Last time bag holders lost 98% of value after 12 months. And yes, clowns?
Yeah. See, if that reverse comes in and you've got 500,000, 100,000 shares, those 500,000 shares became a lot smaller. So that's suspect right there. And it's funny how that comes down with this when you have the article coming out on Yahoo Finance that Marijuana Company of America reports record first quarter revenue for substantial quarter-over-quarter revenue growth. Looks like they operate investment requirement exclusively in the cannabis sector today, announced the financial results that the quarter ended on March 31st, 2022. The company generated 561,321 and 34,930 for 3 months ended March 31st, 2022 and 2021, respectively. The increase of the 526,000 at 1,507% is primarily attributed to the company's new acquisition of Cedistro distribution CBD and hemp products through the USA. Yes, this is a positive thing that's going on, but ongoing efforts continue to expand to South America and key parts of the supply chain, Brazil, Uruguay, for gross margins. For the past 3 months, MCOA's gross profit was 51,059 and 9,750 respectively. MCOA continues the process of VBF brands to the asset purchase agreement and is a multi-licensed cannabis cultivation distribution for Salinas, California. The facility has prior superior efficacy and sustainable cultivation techniques that allow growers to access locally grown, high-quality clone and grown cannabis crops faster and greater yields. Their first quarter loss decreased 3,293,000 from 3,657,000 for the same period in 21. So that's improving numbers there. It's just the thing that gets me here is, and there's good numbers on this, it's just the reverse split. But that was a month ago before we had the reverse split. What else do you got on the twits there, Kage?
Not a lot of news for this one. How about this one from Bilbo Baggins? He says, MCOA, weed is the only thing left to save us from this SE future. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, who?
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. See, I know some of you don't like it when people mention that, but as that gas pump goes up and that 401k goes down, and everything in the clown world. You're living in it, whether you want to believe it or not. You're living right now in a declining country. Unfortunately, it's declining. If you want to keep on doubting it and things like that, it is
That's
what
your
it is.
Business.
Yeah,
That's their
but
business.
you're going to get more and more people come on board because they're going to be done with this. They've had it, and like we said before, Kage, and we've spoke about this before off camera. When the 401k hits lower and it keeps on going lower, that's when you're going to see people marching in the streets and protesting. Because if you thought 2007 2008 was bad, this is going to be this is the appetizer before the the picnic is what's coming. So, and I don't see it stopping because gas holidays, things like that, that's just pennies. When the housing market collapses, it's gonna put a lot of people out of work, and it's gonna really suck really bad for a lot of people, and it's gonna affect all of us. And it's a sad thing to happen. It was all preventable, and so I'll just leave it at that. Do you got anything to add on your comments there?
For this stock, no. I think we gave this thing a fair shake, but we've just got a lot of moving parts, and the moving parts are not necessarily working towards growth.
Did anybody bring in anything as far as any type of new share for did anybody bring in any type of new receipts shared here that we don't have on the Google machine?
New.
Like
Not
anything
that I
anything
can
on the boards
see.
that the past
There's
like
just some links to marijuana price increase for July 2022, and it's got a link to micro axis, but nothing in the comments about charts or anything. Or
what's that article about?
Let me pull it up here real quick. Hold on a moment. Marijuana stock valuation. Marijuana seems to be undervalued based on micro-axis valuation methodology. Firm fundamentals such as return on equity of 352.20%, shares outstanding of 6.62 bill, and operating margin of 457.28%, as well as examining its technical indicators and probability.
So there's a lot of shares out there is what that's explaining. And you don't want to, if there's a reverse split in the works, I would say don't go in and go crazy on this one until you figure out if that reverse is happening, because
I would watch this one, but I would not get into it.
Yeah, watch your arse on that. And that's all I got to add for this show, because they're giving us the countdown, and I don't want to go over the teams, too much work. So you got anything to add on this stock or the show or anything before we peace out of here?
Don't go too heavy into the marijuana stocks, but that's your call.
Yeah, some of them are just they're going to be good. It's just we're still at a point before we close this show out. You need to have the recorrection, and that's the problem. Everything from 2 years ago was way overvalued. We discussed before the pizza shop that went for $1 million when it had 2 locations and the revenue was just not even there. The massive short selling and everything. Quoting Obama's old Reverend Wright, America's chickens, they're coming home to roost. They're coming home. He was talking about the Uniparty is what he was talking about. He wasn't just talking about the Republicans. He was talking about all the good old boys club. So some of you might not
just
be
the
fans.
Old guard that's basically had the world in their hands, and now I think it's time for a new new blood to come in and uprooting the old.
Yeah. So like, and then on this show, we will quote all types of people that discuss things, because we are independent and we cover both sides and we give our takes on what we think. We're not carrying the cooler for either party. Because if there was something that we could go and say, hey, this is a good thing, but I don't see a lot of good. I just see destruction and weakness. So I'm out for now. And don't make it a dog show. And what do you got? Happy trading. Good night now.